Hey guys, CG here, and welcome to this episode of Minecraft 1.11 Modding Tutorials. In this episode, we're going to be adding GUIs. Now this is going to be a basic GUI, maybe display some text if you're lucky. So first things first, we're actually going to have to create a handler, so I'm going to create a new package. I'm going to call it GUI, or GUI. And I'm going to add a class. I'm going to just call this GUI handler. You can name it something simple like that. And so this is going to implement iGUI handler. And we're going to have some methods that need implementing. So basically the GUI handler runs on the server and the client. The GUI is displayed to the client, but the container for like items and such is given to the server. So we won't be using this one right now. Okay, we're also going to want to go back into the common proxy, and inside of init, we're going to add network registry.instance.register GUI handler. Now the mod is going to be our instance from our tutorial mod main, and the handler is our new GUI handler. Okay, so now it's time to actually create the GUI. So I'm going to go back to the GUI tab, create a new class. I'm going to call this GUI tutorial. And this is going to extends GUI screen. Okay, so now we're just going to draw the basic background screen. So we're going to have a public void draw screen. And inside of here we have mouse X and our mouse Y. There actually should be an X on that. And we just have an int partials for partial ticks. Or partials if you want to spell it wrong. Okay, partial ticks is actually a float, so let's make that the right thing. So now we see the green arrow, so we've typed it correctly. And inside of here we're just going to say this dot draw default background. We're also going to have a public static final int ID. I'm going to set this in all caps, and I'm going to set it to 0. Back in our GUI handler on the client, we're going to say if, I'm going to lowercase this ID right here to avoid some confusion, if GUI tutorial.id equals this ID, then we return new GUI tutorial. Okay, now to open the GUI, I'm going to create a new item. So, item tutorial GUI, and we just bring this down here to register.
Hello.
Item tutorial GUI. Hello, Sam. I'm doing a darn tutorial. Silence yourself.
Why are you doing a tutorial when you're in Discord?
Why are you in Discord when I'm doing a tutorial?
Why are you in Discord when you're doing a tutorial?
That's not important right now. I'm gonna finish this tutorial.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm actually going to head and create the instance of this item, which is item tutorial GUI. And of course we'll want to make sure this extends item, not plural. And inside of here, we're going to add our right-click method again, and since I don't feel like typing it, we're going to copy it from the old one. Now we're going to, that's not spelled right, we're going to return new action result, enum action result dot success, and we're going to return player.get held item in hand. There we go, so now it's just a simple right-click. We're going to say if world.isRemote, or not remote. So we're going to say player.open GUI, and this is once again our mod instance, so tutorial mod.instance. The GUI ID, so it's GUI tutorial dot, oh crap, that is not at all. GUI ID, the world. So now we have to return the player position, so I'm going to say player.poseX, player.poseY, and player.poseZ. And of course we're going to have to cast these to integers because they don't like floats. Now supposedly, if we right click on our item, which I may have forgotten to do a lot of things for, we should see it. But first I'm going to add the items model, item tutorial underscore GUI. I hope I named it right. No, I didn't. Alright. So inside of here we're just going to return once again that, and let's go ahead and duplicate the texture, make another one of my beautiful trademarked beautiful textures. Okay, there we go. And finally, let's just add a language file because tutorial or GUI tutorial item. How about that? How about we name it that? I think that's fine. It's perfect. I think we actually want this to call on both, which actually is fine, I suppose. Later on, we'll have to get into packets to deal with handling all this fun stuff, but for now, it's quite simple, so we don't have to. Okay, I've still got the items, so I right-click, and, oh, you see the background darkened. That's good. That's exactly what we want. So that shows you it does free the cursor, and it actually still pauses the game. Now, of course, you can change these settings. So if you don't want your GUI to pause the game in single player, you can do public boolean does GUI pause game, return false. You'll notice when I right click, for example if I'm falling, it pauses it, and I hit escape and it lets me out again. And I probably didn't want to delete that, but I don't care. I'm going to add it to the tab now. So I'm going to say public, just add a constructor here. This dot set creative tab underscore tabs dot tab items. Okay, so back in our creative tab we can see we have the GUI tutorial item. So now if I'm falling, I right click open it, you'll see the game actually continues running in the background. So those are the basics of the GUI. Next tutorial we'll probably get into more advanced stuff such as drawing. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you enjoy my content, go ahead and subscribe. Next tutorial, as I said, you know, just drawing on the GUI.
Subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, you better silence yourself. So next tutorial, we'll probably just do drawing on the GUI, and yeah, that'll be great. Thanks for watching.